This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description. Howdy everybody, and welcome to Racecraft TV for the Triple M Pulling Truck Series here at Homestead, Miami Speedway for the finale here of our truck series. I'm Austin Knight, and you're here watching Racecraft TV for one final time here for the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. Qualifying is currently underway, and we have 4 drivers who are in it to win it tonight. And those 4 drivers are Bradley Wilson, Blake Lothian, Keith Bradley, and Brandon Bullock. And well, last week's winner of Wilson, he's back out here after locking himself in. And I gotta tell you, those 51 boys are really really looking for it. But oh, they do not want to see that big drift and slide and hard into the wall for Bradley Wilson, and that's going to be the end of his qualifying run. And well, I think it might have hit the wall for Dan right there. We got a few other drivers in here. Keith Bradley, championship hopeful, he's coming out onto the track right now. Number 18 in that diamond plated over the top designs car. And they're right here at Homestead, and Homestead has that new feature with the wall, and it's gonna be good. Yeah, Keith running that outside line. You can feel the truck getting a little bit lower and a little bit slidey, but it comes across the line to start out his qualifying here in Homestead, Miami Speedway. Mike Adamson just got done with his time. He's currently sitting in 7th place, and he had a very late run in Phoenix. Chris Simmons just jumps up there into 3rd. So number 3 driver from Victoria, looking nice right there. Dane Hagen stopped on the side of the road at the apron, and Keith Bradley, first lap in, goes into 7th. Got another chance. Mike Adamson jumps up into 3rd. He's going to be starting in the 2nd row. And Jeff Sickles jumps up into 6th place after his 2nd lap. Also out on track, Blake Lothian, another championship hopeful, final race for these guys, and they are racing for some serious cash in the series. And I gotta say, it's gonna be a lot. $800 on the purse, $400 to our champions, $200 to our runner-up, and then $100 to third and fourth place. If you're in here, if you're in the top four, you are definitely making some bank here today. Dale Adamson from Sanford, Florida. He's at his home track right now, even though there are about 3 different tracks on. No, we got about 5 different tracks in iRacing that are located in Florida, so he's got a lot of home tracks to pick out. But Dale Adamson definitely looking all right now, currently sitting 14th. And Homestead is so fun, especially with the new wall proximity model. You can get right up to that wall and just run it up there, which is the faster way to run it here. But see, Dale, he's running that lower line. He's not caring about tire conservation, so you don't need to run that top line, especially in these trucks. But I know in the Cup cars, you run that outside line as much as you can. Adamson comes across the line. He jumps up into 6th place. What a lap from Dale Adamson in that Toyota. As we're looking at the track, and we do have one car that did not go into qualifying. That would be Brandon Bullock, one of our 4 championship drivers. So Brandon, expecting the start of this race to get a little bit feisty with him. So it's going to be interesting to see how Brandon does. You're here watching the Triple M Pulling Truck Series here at Homestead, Miami Speedway, as qualifying comes to a close for our finale. And very interesting situation. None of our championship 4 are starting within the top 4, so we might have a finale that is won by none of our drivers. Let's bring you through the grid. Brady LaBeouf is going to be starting up there on pole, followed by Robert Richards, Mike Adamson, Chris Cinnamon, Bradley Wilson, first of our 4 champions, followed by Dale Adamson, Jeff Sickles, Keith Bradley, Stephen Thomas, Cody Knott, Blake Lothian, Jesse Siraj in 12th place, followed by Dane Hagan, Jonathan Munda, Michael McKinnon, Tyler Dittmer, Stephen Gregory, our last eligible driver for the last Southern Auto Glass Hard Charger Award. Then at the end of the grid in 18th, our last championship hopeful, Brandon Bullock, at the end of our 18-car grid here at Homestead, Miami Speedway. Oh, I can tell you, I'm feeling excited for this one, as all of our drivers are lined up and ready to go. Yeah, we're currently looking at Robert Richards right now. Let's go on board to see how he's doing in that camoed fire suit he's got right now. Bradley Wilson, farthest up on the grid, and definitely the one with a lot of momentum behind the back. He's going to try to do it for Dan and all of his sponsors. You can see that Shenandoah Shine banner he's got on his helmet. Keith Bradley, you can tell that he is focused right there in his Ford. It's funny, he's got a Ford helmet, but he's driving a Chevy. So, you need some brand clearance right there. But, you know, Keith Bradley is still looking good. Blake Lothian, he is focused as ever. Currently a 3rd up in the championship. Then over to Brandon Bullock. Starting at the end of the grid, we're going to see how Brandon is going to tackle this grid as everybody is getting going right now. And we're ready for a good race here tonight at Homestead Miami Speedway. And I'm going to say, if you guys have a favorite, put it in your chat. Who's winning the championship and who is winning this race? And, well, the winner of that bet, I guess, gets a cookie. I don't know. I'm not good at making cookies, but you know what? If you get it right, I'll try to make a cookie. So hopefully none of you are mouses, because, you know, if you give a mouse a cookie, he'll come back for more. If you teach a mouse to make a cookie, he'll never go hungry again. Or something like that. I don't know. I need to go ask my sister. She has kids. She probably told that story. 134 laps here on the schedule here today. Pace cars in, and a finale of the Triple M Pulling Truck Series is underway here at Homestead Miami Speedway, and I can already see that 51 of Wilson. He's looking down 3 wide, heading into turn 1, and Bradley Wilson taking it 3 wide down the inside and immediately up into 3rd. And he's doing it for Dan as they're coming across turn 2 and already up near the wall. Wilson's got a good run on Richards. He's going to go down to the inside. Wilson going to go for 2nd place immediately, and he's already challenging for 1st in 1 lap. Bradley Wilson goes from 5th and already challenging for 1st. Gets onto the back of LaBeouf right there. Almost gets onto his quarter panel, but does not complete the 5th to 1st move in lap 1. But Wilson is meaning business right here. And Wilson's still on the underside of LaBeouf. And you can see Robert Richards on that outside line. You can see that outside line being so fast. And now here comes Robert getting a little bit tight off the exit. Almost comes down into Dan right there. Then Wilson with the block. And now Mike Adamson goes down to the inside of Robert Richards, up for 3rd place. And they're all going on that high line except for Brady LaBeouf, who now goes onto the high line. So they're all just kissing that wall. Here comes Wilson. He's got a good run. Bradley Wilson down to the inside. Bradley Wilson up into the lead. And the CGE boys are going crazy, especially because they're doing it for Dan as they come across the line. What a start of the race for Bradley Wilson. New fastest lap, 33:51. Here compared to the 33:82 of Brady LaBeouf right behind him. As the field is already starting to spread out. Keith Bradley's already up 3 spots as well. As we got a car on the wall, that's LaBeouf in front of him. Brady LaBeouf hit the wall, and right behind him I see the 46 of Dale Adamson got a wiggle coming out of turn 4, and he's lost a lot of momentum. Cars getting out of his way. And there is Blake Lothian. He's up 3 spots. So he goes down to the inside and into 8th place. And what has our start had in store for Brandon Bullock? He's currently in 17th. Not the greatest start for him as he jumps up down to the inside of Cody Knott and into 16th. He's just going to be taking this race easily and seeing how he can do, as Keith Bradley is currently got some company right behind him. As that's LaBeouf who well, gave us a little bit of a scare into the wall. And right behind him, that is Chris Cinnamon going down to the inside of LaBeouf in that yellow and blue number 3. And LaBeouf gets tight, and Cinnamon goes down the inside. And Cinnamons currently got the position, and yeah, he pretty much locked that one down. He's got the car length and everything. Just needs to solidify this exit, or else LaBeouf can get him back right here as they go back down the rear straight. Dale Adamson in that 46 onto the inside of Michael McKinnon, who's in that Racecraft TV. We got a car on the wall. That's Stephen Gregory into the wall. Does he have a tiger on the back of his car? He does. Hobbs, how'd you get there? Hobbs, I don't think that's a place for a tiger to be. Well, Stevie Gregory having some fun with his paint scheme right there. I like little Easter eggs like that. Nice touch as he goes way under Stevie right there. Hopefully Calvin can find him. Is Calvin on the front of his car? No, it's not. It's not Calvin. Probably Calvin when he was a bigger man. And oh no! Adamson very slow through turns 1 and 2. And he dropped down into 12th. Very unfortunate turn for Adamson. Dale Adamson. Not Mike Adamson, who is farther up the field, currently in 7th and still on the back end of LaBeouf. As Blake Lavian, current 3rd place in the championship, is still trying to get his way up to the front. Let's run on board Blake Lavian because he's got a great show ahead of him. Car going up wide. That's Keith Bradley taking that high line. Yeah, Bradley decided already that he wants to start looking after these tires. And Homestead, very, very good and competitive. This track is at providing great racing throughout the race. But tire wear is going to be a thing. These drivers have to worry about. 81 degrees on the tracks. We race into the night underneath the lights here at Homestead Miami Speedway. And our fight for second is nose to tail right now. You can see Bradley Wilson 2/10 up on everybody. He's going to go onto that outside line as nose to tail right behind him comes Richards and Thomas. Now, that outside line, not as fast mid-corner, but off the exit, it's very good, but he gave up a lot of ground, and now our top 3 nose tail with each other. Richards going to dive it down to the inside and try to do what Wilson did to our former pole sitter, LaBeouf, in the opening laps, but he's not going to be able to do it as our tires are a bit more worn down. Yep, 38 laps in our opening stage, then another 38. Here comes Richards after the switchback from Stephen Thomas. Richards back down to the inside, and there you got to fight for second place. Thomas on the outside, Richards onto the inside. Side by side, 2 different strategies coming here. And coming out of turn 2, Wilson is just going to have it, and Richards going to slot back in, but here comes Thomas, almost looking down to the inside. We're both going to go down low. Let's ride on board Stephen Thomas as we got a good drag race here coming out of turn 4. Richards and Wilson side by side. Almost identical coming out of that line, but that outside line just so good off the exit. But that bottom line is just so faster in these earlier stages through the corner. And it's a real win-win situation. But in these trucks, you can run kind of both lines. And both, you can really work their way in there. I know the top line is more preferred, but that bottom line is very useful, as well as they don't have as much horsepower as the Cup guys do. And it's a side-by-side race for the lead for Bradley Wilson and Robert Richards. And Bradley Wilson and the CGE crew definitely wants him to keep that ride in there, as it's Robert Richards going down to the inside. He is really pushing that truck right there as they come out of turns 1 and 2 and racing it down the back straight halfway through stage number 1. So where that outside line's really going to take advantage. Just gotta really keep it in there and watch after those tires as Robert Richards gets a good push. He's going to be leading this lap as Bradley Wilson in that freshly done tux Still going to hold it around to the outside. And here comes Richards. He's drifting up the track and almost into the wall. Great blocking move by Robert Richards. Now they're both defending down to the inside. Wilson trying to overtake Richards. And here comes Stephen Thomas. He's going to try to look down to the inside and up into second place. And they're going up into the wall, almost touching the wall. And now Wilson is stuck between a rock and a hard place. The rock being Stephen Thomas down the inside, the hard place being, well, obviously the wall. So he's going to be staying in second place, but now he's being pushed into third. And we got a diamond pattern coming on as here comes Chris Cinnamon onto the back straight. And Wilson's into the wall. Wilson getting a lot of understeer coming out of that corner. He's tight through there. Stephen Thomas gets by. Chris Cinnamon onto the bumper of Bradley Wilson as they come across the line once more. It's Richards, Thomas, Wilson, and Cinnamon, our top four. And Keith Bradley sitting in fifth place is just right behind Bradley Wilson. Stage one might have started as we got a change for the lead. Robert Richards and Stephen Thomas are side by side. Thomas down to the inside, Richards onto the outside. Thomas was spending more time looking after his tires than Robert Richards was, and he's going to take first with ease right here as Bradley Wilson falls down into fourth place. As, you know, his earlier aggression might be coming back to bite him right there, but we got a good old fight for the lead right now. Wilson and Richards side by side heading into turns 1 and 2. And Richards favoring that inside line once more. Thomas onto that outside. Cinnamon onto that outside. Wilson onto the inside. So they get back in the single file line, getting all the draft. Here comes Stephen Thomas going down to the inside. He's going to challenge it for the lead coming into turns 3 and 4 here on lap 20. Thomas gets a good run through that corner, but here comes Chris Cinnamon out of nowhere. Getting down to the inside. He's now blocking Robert Richards as Thomas goes into the little warp zone. Richards almost turns it into Cinnamon. And now we got a 3-car breakaway for the lead as it looks like Bradley Wilson has fallen away from the pack. And Keith Bradley is right there on his tail getting pushed by Michael McKinnon. Yeah, as we ride on board to Keith Bradley. Bradley, ooh, looks like he got onto the apron right there. Might have got a tap from Michael McKinnon, but he's currently sitting in 5th place. 2nd place in the championship right now. Whoever finishes on top of all the other drivers in yellow, Wilson, Bradley, Lothian, and Bullock, whoever finishes top of these 4 is going to be our Triple M Pulling Truck Series champion and $400 richer. As Michael McKinnon, he's looking down to the inside, but Keith Bradley's also looking down to the inside, and Bradley Wilson defending onto the inside. Everyone's hugging that bottom line as we continue to race here at Homestead Miami Speedway. So you can see Michael McKinnon looking down to the inside of Keith Bradley. Bradley's probably throwing up hands like, come on, dude, you helped me get all the way up here, and now you're going to make this hard. And Michael McKinnon is saying, hey, I don't need to help you at all. I can make this hard, I can make this easy, and I can make this difficult for you however I want to. McKinnon on the inside of Bradley. Bradley getting a good push behind from Adamson. Michael McKinnon, Keith Bradley both setting into turns 3 and 4. And Keith Bradley backing off right there as here comes Michael McKinnon up into 5th place, up into 4th place. McKinnon up 11 spots. He's currently leading our Southern Auto Glass Hard Charger Award. And here comes Bradley, late diving move into turns 1 and 2, sneaking up onto the rear of Bradley Wilson. And Keith Bradley trying to jump ahead and take the lead of the championship in this very tightly contested group. We got Keith Bradley on the inside, Wilson onto the outside right now. Almost 5 laps to go. Wilson defending on the middle of the track, and Keith Bradley, so he's got Tyler the Dipper on his outside, going to be 3 wide through the corner. Wilson's going to back off. Bradley goes down to the lead, to the inside. He takes the lead of the championship with 5 laps to go here in stage number 1 at Homestead Miami Speedway for the championship finale. And Robert Richards and Stephen Thomas are side by side farther up the track, heading into turns 2 and 3. Michael McKinnon chasing down these two as They continue their fight. Richards dives down low, and Chris Cinnamon is up 1.2 seconds ahead of these two, and I believe we are currently looking at one of our favorites in this race. As a fight between our two championship, between two of our 4 championship contenders are continuing to go on right now. Wilson falling back in pace, looks very good in the short run, but in the long run, he's losing speed down the inside. Here comes Mike Adamson testing Bradley Wilson. We got a 3-car fight for second place. We're going to go onto that very soon, but look at this. Michael Adamson down the inside of Bradley Wilson. He's going to take that spot away from him and go up into 7th place. Wilson's going to fall down to 8th place as we got a 3-way fight for second place here at the end of the stage. Michael McKinnon is really putting on a late race show here. Heading into turns 3 and 4. He was taking it slow, and he's making that NASRA Racecraft TV 13 look very well. Coming out of the corner, putting the pedal to the metal, and it's a drag race down the line. Michael McKinnon, Robert Richards. McKinnon sends it into turns 1 and 2. McKinnon up into 2nd place. And that's what a freshly looked after pair of tires is going to look like right there. Going to have all the speed and the grip in the world, and no one's going to be able to say nothing to ya. As Stephen Thomas is behind the slightly dangerous Robert Richards. As McKinnon is having a little bit of technical difficulties trying to stay in. He's going to be still in there for second place. Keith Bradley, though, leading your championship as Bradley Wilson is just right behind him by 1 place or more as he's being challenged by Brady LaBeouf down his inside. And LaBeouf send it in on Bradley. Yes, he does, just like Bradley did to LaBeouf on the opening laps of this round. And Wilson is going to go back another spot, almost into the wall. Green and white flag is in the air for Chris Cinnamon. 1 lap to go here in stage number 1. Thomas and Dittmer are side by side coming out of turn 2. They're going to have a little drag race right here heading into 3 and 4. It's going to be a last chance dive for Dittmer. He's going to try to swing it around the outside right here. He's up near the wall. He's going to try to cut it back on. Drag race, can Dittmer jump? Thomas, he is not going to be able to. He's going to finish 5th. And Chris Cinnamon is going to take the first stage of the night here on Racecraft TV for the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. We'll be right back for the start of stage number 2 right after these messages. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Welcome back to Racecraft TV. We are back here live at Homestead Miami Speedway for the championship finale as we're standing by with the number 13 in that NASRA Racecraft TV car, Michael McKinnon. What a start. You had up 13 spots and you're currently sitting in second place after a very promising late race run. You finished the stage in second place, currently sitting in third. How was that run, and how did you manage those tires so well?
I'm not sure how I managed them there. I'm just trying to be consistent with my marks, you know, just hitting the marks, trying to be smooth on the wheel because it will snap loose on you. So I'm just trying to be smooth with it.
Well, you're definitely being smooth out there right now, currently sitting in third. Pit stop, boys. It's just a bad pit stop for you. Is somebody getting fired after this?
No, that's the driver. I slid almost through, but not quite. So just a little slow.
Okay, just blame it on somebody dipping some oil. Well, we're side by side. Lights are off on the pace truck, and I'm going to let you be and get prepared for the start of station number 2.
Info, appreciate it.
That is Michael McKinnon. Always glad to have him join us in the booth as he is driving along here as we take a look at our stage winner, Chris Cinnamon, who really pulled out a great strategy and pulled away after Stephen Thomas and Robert Richards behind him started fighting. And hey, they're behind him once more. Chris Cinnamon looking to make it 2 stages in a row. So we take a look at our championship leader, Keith Bradley, in that 18. He's got Bradley Wilson right behind him. And it's going to be fun to watch how this race goes on in the future. Lights are out on the pace car. We're back to green here at Homestead Miami Speedway for the championship finale of the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. And it's a great start by Chris Simmons. And already Bradley Wilson looking aggressive, going from the outside line back to the inside line. And already looking to make a move on Tyler Dittmer. Tyler Dittmer sliding up the track. Wilson goes down to the inside. He's on the back of Michael McKinnon. He's opening laps. That bottom line is extremely fast. But remember, Wilson was doing this early last stage, and it really hurt his tires throughout the race. And Michael McKinnon was able just to coast by him by finding it his line and taking it smoothly. This might be his Achilles heel right now, but on a restart, this is definitely the spot where you want to go. Wilson passing McKinnon down to the inside and getting a leg up. There's Keith Bradley. Wilson getting a nose ahead of Bradley as they come out of turn 2. Wilson taking back the championship lead as they are side by side here at Homestead. That's right on board to Keith Bradley. You can see Bradley Wilson on his inside. And he's just staying up near that wall, keeping his tires very calm. Wilson not going to the outside just yet. He's staying down to the inside as Keith Bradley stays onto the outside. And those tires, as you see Cinnamon up there just coasting away right there. I don't know about you, but Chris Cinnamon, he put some tequila in his car or something because it is going. And it's a bump to the back of Thomas for Keith Bradley, trying to nudge that 23 a little bit faster as he's going to go down to the inside. Keith Bradley saying, I'm done if you're winning. I'm going to go for that $400 championship prize. He's going to go down to the inside and try to pass Stephen Thomas and stay behind his championship rival as both of them go down to the inside of Robert Richards. Very close running. Keith Bradley getting into the back of Robert Richards right there. Bump drafting him, almost heading into turns 3 and 4, going back to that outside line running. And if I was Keith Bradley right here, I'd be looking after your tires. This is the time to test. This is the time to study. How will you want to run your final laps of this race? Look after those tires or be as aggressive as possible. Wilson, he's being aggressive as possible. He's trying to find the edges, the limit, the absolute tip of the iceberg for these tires, and he's running it down to the inside every single lap, just pushing these tires to the limit as he knows if he wants to make up as much spots as possible, he needs to be running that way. And if it comes down to a 10-lap sprint on fresh tires, Wilson has this race. But if it's more than 15 laps restart at the end, or just a straight race to the end, as we have not had a caution yet from a wreck, Keith Bradley looks like he's having the advantage with looking after his tires throughout the race, judging by his outside line. But Bradley Wilson keeping himself on the pace, closing in on Chris Cinnamon, who, well, at the start of this race hasn't looked back, as Tyler Dittmer gets a good run on Keith Bradley. He goes down to the inside. Keith Bradley looks down to the inside, gets a good run. Big wiggle by Dittmer. Bradley's going to take back P3. And look who is behind him once more. Michael McKinnon behind these two. Tyler Dittmer is taking back the title of the Southern Autoglass Hard Charger on that outside line. Just by a little bit. Big crossover moment right there. Dittmer down to the inside. And now Keith Bradley is onto that outside, his preferred line, I must say, as everyone's going down to the inside, trying to maximize the grip on these tires after they're closing in on that 10-lap mark. I want to see everybody moving back up to the outside line some more. And let's show you the current stint length. They just hit 10 laps on these tires. Cinnamon, like I said, once they hit 10 laps, goes to the outside. And that's the way to maximize your tires, maximize the heating, maximize the cooling, maximize the grip, potential, maximize the tire wear, life potential, just max, the maxing, the max, super max, max. Basically, they're using these tires to the max, and using his tire grip to the max. Bradley Wilson, he's going to go and try to lead for another time in this race. But remember, last time he did not finish in the leading position after falling down to 5th place again. After later in the race, about halfway through, he just fell off the pace. And we are about halfway through of stage number 2, but stage number 2 is shorter than stage number 1 because of the 5 less laps we've had under green flag racing. So I'm expecting around lap 50, we're going to see Wilson be struggling to stay behind Chris Cinnamon as he continues to run that bottom line. But these two, Cinnamon and Wilson, are in a league of their own right now. Nobody is even close to them, as Keith Bradley and Tyler Dittmer and Michael McKinnon are all trying to catch up. These three are trying to catch up with our 2 leaders. And Chris Cinnamon has been really looking after his tires today. And this is the fight between these two for the Southern Autoglass Hard Charger Award. Dittmer is up 12, McKinnon's up 10, and if McKinnon passes Dittmer like he just did, well, almost just did right there, we would have a 3-way tie for the Southern Autoglass Hard Charger Award between Gregory, McKinnon, and Dittmer, all at 11 overtakes. But currently, Tyler Dittmer leads that by 1. And now Robert Richards spoils the party for Stephen Gregory. If Robert Richards gets past Stephen Gregory, Gregory loses a spot and he'll only have 10 overtakes so far in this race. Dittmer looking on to the outside, staying behind of Keith Bradley. Both of these drivers, well, they're really looking after their tires, and Dittmer is really forcing McKinnon to get out of his comfort zone right here. And this is very strategic for Tyler Dittmer, especially if he wants that the last Southern Autoglass Hard Charger Award of the season. As we see in the background, Robert Richards getting past Stephen Gregory right there, demoted Gregory into 7th place, and Robert Richards getting up into 6th place. You see all the different lines, all the cars just sliding upwards in the track as it cools down. The skies have darkened now as the track is getting cooler. Still 81 degrees, but the air temperature has fallen down. We lead into lap 50 here as Tyler Dittmer and Michael McKinnon are side by side with each other right behind a Keith Bradley. Bradley might have to be diving down to the inside to watch after his spot on track. Dittmer staying on his bumper. Here comes Michael McKinnon looking down to the inside of Tyler Dittmer. He might get Keith Bradley as well, depending on his exit. But it is going to be a drag race. McKinnon and Dittmer still side by side with each other. McKinnon going down to the inside. Not being as smooth as he was in the opening stage, but he is still packing a punch right now. Getting a great run through the corner. Now he's side by side with Keith Bradley as they're going side by... Well, they've been side by side for the past 5 laps. I don't have to keep saying side by side, going side by side, and going side by side again. But you know what? It's pattern, it's tradition, and woo, man, it's great racing. Unlike what you get at Texas Motor Speedway, thanks to the trash compound. McKinnon getting a good one, clearing Dittmer now. And now his next target is Keith Bradley. Bradley still trying to chase down Bradley Wilson. And Keith staying on to the outside. Keith Bradley's in the wall. And he set up a spark show just like Brady LaBeouf did. And that allows Michael McKinnon to get up into 3rd place. Go back, Keith Bradley. Bradley does have some nose damage from that. And some side pod damage, especially in that right rear quarter panel. And look at Michael McKinnon go as Tyler Dittmer and Robert Richards return to their regularly scheduled program of fighting each other. You know, Robert Richards returns to his regularly scheduled program of fighting somebody else, as Stephen Thomas, not Gregory, they both start with... How many Stevens do we have in this series? 2? Okay. As Stephen Thomas is now trying to catch up with him, but Tyler Dittmer currently being Robert Richards' next target, and Tyler Dittmer currently looking at Keith Bradley as his next target. He goes down to the inside, and oh, it's a late turn-in by Dittmer and Bradley. They almost make collision with each other, and here comes Robert Richards for 5th place. Almost collision again. The exit of these banks are so hard and abrupt that, well, if you aren't in the line, something might jump out and surprise you. Speaking of surprising, look down to the inside. Robert Richards trying to make it 3 wide on Tyler Dittmer. Whoa, almost swoops his rear end right there and turns him around. 5 laps remain here in stage number 2. Richards looks down to the inside of Tyler Dittmer. And Richards trying to go for that good run. Looking for that good old money right there. Robert Richards still in 6th place. Still on the gearbox of Tyler Dittmer. Once again diving down to the inside as Bradley and Dittmer stays onto the outside. Robert Richards getting a good run. Dittmer going down low. Dittmer and Bradley make contact after Dittmer tries to avoid Keith Bradley. And Robert Richards probably not happy about that. He probably likes that slightly dangerous paint scheme. And now it's got a little bit of gray right there from a Dittmer Tiger Stripe. And let me tell you, paint jobs are not cheap to fix. But hey, it's the finale of the race. If these guys are they're going to be coming home and just the roll bar and the chassis with all this car destroyed, as they're going to mark it up just a little bit. Richards falling down to Dittmer. Dittmer going down to the inside and swoop back to the outside. Here comes Stephen Thomas and Dale Adamson right behind Robert Richards. Richards diving down to the inside, almost getting collected by somebody else. And Keith Bradley into the wall once more. And Dittmer's trying to go onto the outside, trying to squeeze it around to the outside. There's 3 wide right behind him. Robert Richards diving down to the inside of Keith Bradley. He's going to be leading this fight for 4th place, but this is a big old pack we got going here. This late on in stage number 2 here in Homestead, Miami for the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. Robert Richards is going to be leading that lap out, and Bradley Wilson has fallen away for Chris Cinnamon, and look who is on his tail. Michael McKinnon. McKinnon getting a great run. You get to see the tire life between these 2 drivers. The way that they looked after these tires. And here comes Michael McKinnon going down to the inside. Straight up into 2nd place. McKinnon up 13 spots. This race back into 2nd place with 2 laps to go here in stage number 3. Keith Bradley's not the stage that he wanted after that wall contact. But now he's going to be in a little pricky situation with all these drivers around him. It's a little bit of help from Tyler Dittmer after Dittmer got into this rear end. Green and white flag in the air for Chris Cinnamon once again. 1 lap to go here at stage number 2. Dittmer is up in the wall so far. Oh my goodness, he was planted with it. Richards getting a good run down to the inside. Trying to get as much speed as he can. It is not going to pay. It is going to pay out for him though. He's going to dive it down to the inside. Keith Bradley going to try to hold it around to the outside, trying to maximize his stage points as well. But he gets into the wall. That's another wall contact for Keith Bradley as the stage is ending again. And Chris Cinnamon, the 2nd stage win of the night here in Homestead, Miami Speedway. And Bradley Wilson right behind in 3rd place, followed by, again, Michael McKinnon in 2nd place. Championship fight coming down to the wire indeed. 1 more stage to go. 74 laps on the table. Who's it gonna be? Wilson or Bradley? Stay tuned here. You're watching Racecraft TV. We'll be right back after these messages. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description.
Let's face it, to build a new website or redesign your existing site, you have 2 options. You can start by learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SEO, SQL, CMS, well, you get the idea. Or you can be smarter and look for someone who is a professional in web design like Sneed Competition Design. We are experienced in building quality websites for our clients. We always start with strategy and planning to build a clear vision about what you need. Your website will then be passed on to the design and development phase, where we will ensure that you get a fully responsive design that is easy to use regardless of any device using the latest tools in web development. Contact us today, and let's talk about accelerating your business to the next level by creating a complete online solution.
Welcome back to Racecraft TV. We are back here live, changed with the leader now. Chris Simon winning stage 1 and 2, but he's not going to be leading this race coming out of it. Michael McKinnon is going to be leading the race coming out and starting stage number 3, and he's going to be starting on that inside line. Bradley Wilson sitting in 3rd place. Great opportunity for him as Keith Bradley, they're fiddling with his damage. His crews were out and about right there, and Keith Bradley drops all the way to last in the championship now to get that damage repaired. He's going to be starting in 14th. Brandon Bullock, they're starting to make his move. He's going to be starting in 17th. And Blake Lothian, nope, he is card number 17th. Brandon Bullock is going to be starting in 11th as Blake Lothian is going to be starting just a row ahead of him in 9th place, giving a big gap to Bradley Wilson. Can Bradley keep those tires alive? But Michael McKinnon is not firing a pit crew member this time, and as he didn't make that driver error, as he had a great pit stop window this time by. Pace cars off, last stage, about to start underway. It is green here in Homestead, Miami Speedway, last stage of the Triple M Pulling Truck Series Season 2. And immediately McKinnon onto that outside line, and Bradley Wilson storming it down to the inside and into the lead. And the man who's doing it for Dan takes the lead immediately after starting in 3rd this time by. He's going to be trying to pull as much of the gap as he can and try to go for a strategy. And we got a spin in the background. We got a car off. That's Keith Bradley. Bradley's in the wall. Bradley's in the wall. Robert Richards is sliding as well. Richards is into the wall. Caution is out for the first time today. Brought out by Keith Bradley and Robert Richards. And here's what happened. Well, it's Keith Bradley and Robert Richards. And Bradley, though, doesn't look like there was contact. It looks like he was already losing it, and into the wall he went after losing control of his car. Into the wall. Let's take a look from Robert Richards' perspective. Ooh, wait a minute. Robert, did you give him a little tippy tap? Here's the replay. See, Keith Bradley already losing it, and then Robert Richards just gave him the little push and go. And then Richards gets tapped from behind, it looks like, as he spun and went into the wall. And this is the view from Robert Richards. Yep, Jonathan Munda, Richards got into each other. Munda went into the wall, and Richards went spinning around. Surprisingly, Richards did not hit that inside wall, but that is a big heartbreak for Keith Bradley, as that's more damage onto that number 18, as the 3rd caution is out of the night. Bradley Wilson probably not the happiest right there, as he got an amazing start, but now he's going to be in control of the field. We'll be right back after a very short break. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description. Welcome back to Racecraft TV. We're back here live at Homestead, Miami Speedway. 3rd caution of the night, but first caution brought up by a wreck, and we already had drivers go in for a opportunistic pit stop to get some more fuel and some more fuel into their cars. I do not believe any of these guys took tires, no. The only one that I believe took tires or something was Tyler Dittmer. These drivers only had 4 chances for tires, and I think Dittmer just might have forgot to change to uncheck that, because it's showing that as he did get tires. Robert Richards and Jonathan Munda all went for repairs, as so did Keith Bradley. And I'm surprised he doesn't have more damage. No, he does have more damage on that car, but probably seeing the damage done to his car as they all line up side by side again. Bradley Wilson will be in charge of this restart. Well, as they enter turns 3 and 4, they're going to be starting lap 70. As we're going to have 70. Well, no. With math. 60 for laps to go here in Homestead Miami Speedway. We're back to green. Great start by Bradley Wilson. Michael McKinnon trying to stay his lane. Down the inside, here comes Dale Adamson. And, oh, big wiggle from Cinnamon. Cinnamon got a massive wiggle on that restart, almost into the wall. But Cinnamon dropping down to 8th spots. Stage winner of stage 1 and 2 by miles. Falling all the way down to 9th place as he's behind our pole sitter of Brady LaBeouf. I think P1 is cursed. Up ahead at Stephen Thomas, looking down to the outside of Michael McKinnon, and now going for that switch back down to the inside. Changed his mind, back going on to the outside line as Dale Adamson and Bradley Wilson are having a little fight with each other. Adamson sending it down to the inside. That 46 Mean Green Machine into the lead, and Wilson gets a big wiggle coming out of turn 3. And Wilson falls down into 4th place. And look who's just behind Mike Adamson, the dark horse of the championship, Blake Lothian, that 59. And he's got some damage. Looks like he might have tapped the wall, but he sees Wilson ahead of him. He might be getting a little bit more courageous now. He's seeing Wilson struggling to keep his rear tires in check, especially with his tried and true method, as Bradley Wilson, well, I think he might try to watch after his tires some more, but nope. Going back down to what he knows best, sending it down to the inside and holding out a big old yeet. Wilson looking for that outside line, switch back down to the inside line on Michael McKinnon. McKinnon holding that outside line and staying in his own lane. Looking after those tires as here comes, oh my goodness. I thought Wilson had the speed right there, but he just decided to back off. Let his engine breathe just a little bit. It is getting colder right now. Yep. It's dropped 2 degrees in the air, and it's dropped a degree on track. So, you know, more grip to these guys, but more grip is more abrasive as Keith Bradley around the outside of Brady LaBeouf. Bradley turning on the jets right now. So he's trying to catch Chris Cinnamon just ahead of him. And Chris Cinnamon, well, trying to get back to the front row where he was, and pretty much thinks he may belong there, because here at Homestead, nobody's been able to touch him. As Stephen Thomas, he's looking down to the inside of Dale Adamson. And here is the fight for 3rd between Wilson and McKinnon. Wilson getting a good run, looking around to the outside. McKinnon holding down that inside line, forced to use those tires of his. And McKinnon is going to fall to Bradley Wilson. And Wilson defending down to the inside now, as Stephen Thomas and Dale Adamson are fighting it out for the lead. Thomas and Adamson side by side for the lead coming out of turn 2. Thomas looking a little bit loose. Adamson using the speed around to the outside to get his advantage. Still side by side. Thomas diving it low. Still staying low. He's getting some speed through the mid-corner. He's got the lead of the race. Stephen Thomas, new leader. And now Dale Adamson trying to do a little switchback action right now. He's going to try to bring it down low and carry the speed through the corner. Just has to keep the wheels in line and not have a little bit of step out. Thomas, though, has the speed off the exit. As Adamson, looks like Dale Adamson has some nose damage right there. And that's going to be hurting him on the straightaway speed, as look who is behind them. Bradley Wilson making up all the ground that he can. He's back on the rear wing and back in the talk for the lead of this race. Both Adamson and Thomas looking high. Wilson looking low. Wilson looking for a good run, but is not gonna be able to make it happen right there. As they continue to drive on here, Adamson very wide. That's opened up the door for Bradley Wilson. Wilson needs to keep his truck in control now, as he has a big chance to take the win here as we enter lap 80. And Michael McKinnon has just been very silently watching this pack. And let's actually bring up our driving dashboard here of Michael McKinnon. And just watch his steering. Very little movements to that wheel as he straightens it up and continues on. Now, I must say, our inputs are mirrored. But you can see on how smooth his steering is right on the bumper. Not making a lot of adjustments right there. Well, now he is, as he gets a little bit loose. But let's take a look at that and Bradley Wilson's steering style. Both of them being very smooth on the steering. It looks like Wilson is going for a higher steering angle, though. That's what might be chipping at those tires later on in the run. We will come back to this later, as we are 20 laps in on this set of tires. And this is where Wilson Achilles heel starts to get shown right now. Stephen Thomas way out in the lead, as Adamson and Wilson are still fighting out for second place. Wilson looking down low. Adamson staying up high. Here comes Wilson. Wilson not giving up at all. He wants to fight it to the end. Right behind him, Michael McKinnon and Chris Cinnamon. Cinnamon and McKinnon, two of the best late run runners. That's a word. That's a saying. As iRacing gives me a heart attack, like usual, at 8:24 p.m. Thank you. As McKinnon, well, they got a three-way fight now. Here comes Cinnamon on the back end of Wilson. Cinnamon looking down onto the inside. He is sending it down low. And Bradley Wilson, I think he needs to watch out for Blake Lothian behind him. As all the drivers that have looked after their tires, they are getting the run of their life right now. And they haven't even hit half. They haven't even hit 30 laps to go yet. Bradley Wilson staying onto that inside line. Michael McKinnon just the only car between him, but Blake Lothian chasing down Bradley Wilson now. And our championship contenders, looks like it's going to be a fight of tires now, as here comes McKinnon down to the inside on Bradley Wilson, who's trying to do it for Dan and win this championship for him. And I know the boys at CGE will be very overjoyed. But Michael McKinnon jumps up into 5th place. Wilson drops down to 6th. Blake Lothian hunting down his championship rival and that championship. The Venture, I believe that is the Venture West. Venture Weeps, car of Blake Lothian. Powered by the Texas Law. Blake is definitely looking very chipper right now as he sees Bradley Wilson just ahead of him. And the man who's doing it for Dan, and so thankful for all of his supporters that he puts it on the back of his truck. He sees that 59 closing in on him. And look at this fight up ahead. Adamson and Cinnamon. Cinnamon going down to the inside. Cinnamon up into 2nd place. And here comes Michael McKinnon as well, getting down to the inside of Mike Adamson. And now he's on the younger of the two Adamsons. Dale Adamson almost getting into the wall right there. And Keith Bradley, he's got Stephen Gregory onto his inside. Gregory and Bradley. Bradley, after bringing out that caution with Robert Richards, almost getting into 8th place right there. He's going to go for the switchback now. Bradley getting a good run, diving it down into turns 2 and 3. And now we got 3 championship drivers in the nose to tail in position wise, as Bradley Wilson is still losing time to the car behind of Blake Lothian. He's lost 2/10 that last lap. And now it's another 10th. How long is Blake going to be on these tires, and how long is Wilson going to be running these tires? As up ahead, it's Dale Adamson and Michael McKinnon having a drag race for 3rd place. McKinnon, though, using that inside line to his advantage. He was taking it very easy on these tires as this is a longer run. And they've been on these tires for 30 laps. It's been a regular stage 2 now. And now they're just going to see on how long they can go on these tires before it is a good time for them to go into the pits. This is the race for second place and might be the lead. But the race that we are looking for is the race for the championship and $400 between these two right here. Wilson and Lothian, both of them having different strategies. And Blake Lothian now is the one who is closing in on Bradley Wilson. Another 10th gain that time by for Blake. And Bradley Wilson trying to keep his championship and do it for Dan in the CGA free Dan 51. Well, here comes Lothian. He's going to try to send it around the outside. Only 0.003 of a second faster that time by, but he's gained a lot of time through that corner as Bradley Wilson taking different lines now. Trying to throw Blake Lothian off the scent of that $400 and that championship trophy. Lothian looking for that outside line, staying up near the wall and keeping his tires alive as Bradley Wilson, well, he's keeping that inside line and trying to keep that lead some more, but now it's a drag race. Wilson going down to the inside to keep the pace on Lothian as Lothian going on to that outside line once more. The speed is in that outside lane now, and Wilson knows it, and he can't defend anything from what's about to happen. Lothian and Wilson to the line, and it's going to be Blake Lothian into the lead of the championship. Our third different championship leader today here in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series championship finale here on Racecraft TV. And now all Wilson can do is sit back and watch, but this could be in Bradley Wilson's favor. The longer he can stay behind and close to Blake Lothian on these tires, the faster he will be and have to worry less about those tires later on in the race as we are closing down to 30 laps to go for another stint. The thing is, though, he's already losing some time to Blake Lothian ahead of him. When he made the pass, we were just barely behind him now. But now he's half a second behind Blake Lothian. And I feel like it's going to be even more. It's up to 7/10 now. He is losing time exponentially to Blake Lothian. And tenths mean a lot. Brandon Bullock, the first of our championship drivers to go into the pits. And he spun it into the pit lane. Oh, that is not how you want to make your pit stop and try to undercut everybody. Here he is coming down out of 4, gets onto the brakes, locks it up, and oh no, just a little bit too much and spinning it into the pit lane. And now Stephen Thomas is in the pits. He's the first. He was leading the race, and now he dives it into the pit lane. He's making the call on everybody on lap 100. Dale Adamson's in the wall. It's all kicking off right here. And Adamson getting into the wall on turn 2. It's probably a sign that his tires are gone as well. And we're going to see more pit stops. Yes, we are. Chris Cinnamon into the pits. Michael McKinnon as well into the pit lane. Mike Adamson into the pits. Dale Adamson, Blake Lothian, Tyler Dittmer, Keith Bradley. But Bradley Wilson carries on in that 51. He's going to try to throw the Hail Mary in case it all pays off. And in case there's a late caution, Bradley Wilson will be having that on track position. and the freshest tires of the field later on in the race. But now we got a pit stop fight. Robert Richards sliding into his pit box. Here comes Chris Cinnamon coming out of the pit box. He's going to try to win stage number 2, 1, and 3. That made sense the way I said it, but Bradley Wilson, he knows he doesn't have the lap time in those tires to attempt that. He's diving into the pit stop. Stephen Gregory now leads the race. Jeff Sickles follows him into the pits as well. First of the new tires is Stephen Thomas, as he is the net leader of the race. Cody Knott and Stephen Gregory, though, these two are racing it out right behind him. And the track map looks like an absolute thing. And the caution is out with Cody Knott in the lead. And that puts Stephen Thomas, the net leader. Chris Cinnamon right behind him in second place. Michael McKinnon in third. Dane Hagen in fourth place. But Dane Hagen went to the pits on lap 87. Mike Adamson and Dale Adamson. Then Bradley Wilson on track position stays ahead of Blake Lavian. He played the game, and the game paid off for him. Wilson still leads the championship, and this is how that caution came out. It was a spin by Robert Richards. A self spin. It looks like he might have got into it. He got into Brandon Bullock, and Bullock can't believe his mind. This race has gone from bad to worse to worse to worse, worse. Dropped down the stairs and called your uncle. But oh my goodness, Wilson can't believe his luck right there. Lap 104 to 134, 30 laps to go here for the Triple M Pulling Championship finale at Homestead Miami Speedway. We'll be right back for the rest of this race. You're here watching Racecraft TV. We'll see you soon. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description. Welcome back to Racecraft TV. We are back here live at Homestead Miami Speedway. Lap 105 at 134. Lap 106 at 134. 29 laps to go in the championship finale. And Bradley Wilson has the lead of the championship. And a shorter run now. Less than 30 laps. Who is going to be taking the championship? 51 or 59? Bradley Wilson or Blake Lothian? We're going to find out here soon, but to show the advantage that Wilson has, he has 1 lap newer tires to Blake Lothian. That could mean so much difference on how aggressive he could be on this restart. Stephen Thomas is going to be leading this restart, that 23. Pace car is in. Less than 30 laps to go. Wilson getting he is backing down hard on this restart. He's going to try to jump this entire field on this restart. He's getting so much room, but it's green, and he gets held up by the number 3 ahead of him. Thomas jumps up the field and carries off on Chris Cinnamon. Cinnamon going down to the inside. And Wilson jumps up immediately into 3rd place. They're holding it around to the outside of Michael McKinnon. He's going to try to hold it around to the outside of Chris Cinnamon now. And he's now on the bumper of Stephen Thomas. Wilson trying to get as many spots as possible as McKinnon dives down to his inside. Blake Lothian and Keith Bradley are side by side with each other. Bradley trying to be as aggressive as possible to gain up his spots as well. We've had 3 different championship leaders. Tyler Dittmer got into the wall. As Jesse Siraj has had an incident. This is a replay. And oh no, Munda gets tapped in by Robert Richards. Siraj goes off the track, comes back up ahead of Munda, then loses the back end. No. That was just the access road. That's what happened there. Ignore my pleas for drama. As Lothian and Bradley fight it out for 2nd place in the championship. They're going to be side by side right now. Lothian trying to stay around the outside of Michael McKinnon. Wilson holding down that inside line, trying to catch up with Chris Cinnamon and Stephen Thomas, but they're way off there. Almost in the background goes Blake Lothian into the wall as he's carrying it on the outside of Michael McKinnon. And Lothian almost sideways through turns 3 and 4. He's lost a lot of pace right there, but Dittmer was there to catch him. And now down his inside. Here is Keith Bradley. Bradley trying to use that advantage he's got from Lothian's mistake. Lothian to the wall. Lothian throwing up sparks. Blake Lothian down into 9th place. Keith Bradley back into 2nd place for the championship. Keith Bradley on the back of Michael McKinnon, trying to play it as safe as he can. As Robert Richards has entered pit lane, and that front end of that car is absolutely destroyed. Blake Lothian losing more spots now. Is he damaged? I don't see any damage on the left-hand side, but on the right, oh yeah, on the right-hand side he does have some damage on that front right. The front end's kicked in after that wall hit, so he needs to be careful at how he approaches the situation, as Keith Bradley trying to carry on that outside lane tradition and catch up to Bradley Wilson, who is sitting in 3rd place now. With 23 laps to go, after a fantastically lucky yellow flag, Wilson leads the championship, and he is extending that lead to Keith Bradley. But for how long can he keep this lead? As we know on how fast Bradley is after. These tires get a little bit worn. McKinnon's just ahead of Bradley now. Bradley just needs to finish in 3rd place. And we do have a lapped car in this situation now. And that would be Robert Richards up into the wall. As that is the leader right behind him. Yep, Stephen Thomas right behind Robert Richards, who is very damaged. Richards, who brought out that caution, will be staying up high. And Bradley Wilson needs to watch his head right here, as this is a very slick part of the track. You actually hear him getting off the throttle right now in case something happens in front of him. And Keith Bradley's falling down the field. What's happening to Keith Bradley? Bradley, he's hit the wall. This is not the direction that Bradley wants to go. He's going down instead of up and getting a lot of cushions to Bradley Wilson. Bradley Wilson getting ahead of Robert Richards right there. So Wilson has got to pass the only roadblock in his plan with 19 laps to go. The fight for our lead between Stephen Thomas and Chris Cinnamon is still going alive and well, as it's been. Stephen Thomas and Chris Cinnamon, two of the most consistent runners trying to go for this overall win. As my voice did something incredibly weird right there, and I don't want to have a replay of that. They head into turns 3 and 4. Keith Bradley now making up some ground on Tyler Dittmer, down to the inside with 17 laps to go. Dittmer onto the outside as there's Robert Richards, and Richards putting him on the screen for Keith Bradley. A little basketball terminology in here. The pick and roll by Bradley. Bradley up into 7th place. And that could have ended out extremely badly for Bradley Wilson or Keith Bradley, as Dittmer got onto the brakes right there and almost had a collision, as Dale Adamson and McKinnon are side by side with each other. Bradley Wilson caught up to Chris Cinnamon. He's going to try to hold it around the outside now, but he is in that draft with 15 laps to go, and he's going to try to do it for Dan and win this championship. Cinnamon on the outside, Wilson on the inside. Number 51, 15 laps to go if you looked at the mirror. And Bradley Wilson, he is still pushing it hard. He's still pushing that Toyota Tundra as hard as he can. Into turns 1 and 2. Chris Cinnamon holding that outside line. Michael McKinnon getting a good run on Dale Adamson. He is up into 4th place. Stephen Gregory getting there as well. Keith Bradley looking down to the inside of Adamson. This is where those tires come alive for Keith Bradley and Michael McKinnon and anyone who looks after those tires. But can they close that gap with 13 laps to go here at Homestead, Miami, Florida? As we ride on board of Keith Bradley, the white car at the top of your screen is Bradley Wilson. Keith Bradley's last time was a 34.81, And coming out of nowhere is Adamson around the outside. But it's going to be blocked by Stephen Gregory going down the inside. Oh, there's Calvin. I just saw Calvin. He's much smaller than Hobbs. Oh, yeah, Hobbs is a tiger. He's imaginary. His size is irrelevant. But Adamson getting a new burst of speed. Adamson coming out of nowhere, getting down to the inside of Keith Bradley and putting another car between him and Bradley Wilson. 12 laps to go. Wilson in third. Wilson's last lap, 34.94. Keith Bradley's last lap, 35. Wilson is pulling away from Bradley. Bradley has three cars in his way, giving him some bad weight, putting some air on his bumper, and well, being a little bit of a nuisance for Keith Bradley as he's trying to race for this championship. Adamson gets a good pick down to the inside as Gregory goes up high. Bradley goes down low on Gregory. Adamson goes wide. Bradley and Gregory still side by side. Here comes Gregory around the outside. And, oh, a little bit of lose for Adamson as he hit the inside road. And now here comes Keith Bradley down the inside, but he's getting a little bit of help from Adamson right there. He's getting some air off that rear bumper and off that rear spoiler, probably making that rear end a little bit of loose with 10 laps to go. Bradley Wilson sitting in third place, leading Keith Bradley by 3.1 seconds. All in the name of Dan, and he's trying to do it for Dan and the rest of the CGE boys of Shenandoah Shine. Oh man, what a race and what a story this would be for that entire team if he's able to pull it off with 9 laps to go. His nearest competition, Keith Bradley, is still stuck in traffic. Got ahead of Adamson now, but he's got to deal with the younger Adamson, Dale Adamson, just right ahead. And his father, oh man, this is like just like a replay of Phoenix as the championship was in between of these two drivers, Dale and Mike Adamson, both of them involved in that final incident where it allowed Bradley Wilson to get into the championship after he was being chased down with final laps to go. Stephen Thomas brings it across the line for 7 laps to go, ahead of Chris Cinnamon, who is the second ahead of Bradley Wilson. And Bradley Wilson, well, he might have a little bit of fight for third place now, as that is Michael McKinnon on his tail. Michael McKinnon trying to bring out an amazing performance and bring home that Southern Auto Glass Hard Charger Award, the last one of the season, to himself. He's already got it by being plus 11 spots, but he wants to be plus 12. Keith Bradley got up into 5th place now, as they are 3 wide heading into turns 1 and 2. Bradley holding it around that outside line of Dale Adamson. Adamson using that inside line speed, but it's not going to be helping him off the exit unless they can make a little bit of contact with each other. But Keith Bradley is stuck in between a rock and a hard place right now. And I believe it is out of the hat for Keith Bradley. And now he's going to be racing for all the points he can get. There's contact between him and Mike Adamson and Dale Adamson. The 3 of them making contact again. And that's allowed Keith Bradley to get up there into 5th place. Bradley Wilson and Michael McKinnon are side by side. McKinnon gets ahead of Wilson. And Wilson having to get onto the brakes just a little bit so he doesn't get into the back of Michael McKinnon. 5 laps to go. Now 4 laps to go here in Homestead Miami Speedway. And Wilson's just looking for a clean race. Lothian as sitting in 10th after hitting the wall and grinding his championship dreams to a halt. Only way that I can see this coming down to the wire is if there's a caution right now. But with 4 laps to go, the field's spread out. I do not think that we will be able to see one. And it looks like Keith Bradley will be sitting in 2nd place of the championship. Now, he's not going to go home empty-handed. These guys, anyone in the championship 4 is getting at least $100 in prize. There's $800 on the line. Mike Adamson looking down the inside of Keith Bradley with 3 laps to go. Adamson getting a good run. Gets ahead of Keith Bradley through that line. And now Keith Bradley back behind an Adamson. With 3 laps to go, Bradley Wilson off in no man's land. Keith Bradley makes contact with Mike Adamson. But the amount of fighting that they're doing, it's 4 seconds now to Bradley Wilson ahead of him. Jeff Sickles is in the pit lane with 2 laps to go. And now Michael McKinnon is on the rear end of Chris Cinnamon. But the white flag is in the air. One last lap for Stephen Thomas here in Homestead, Miami, Florida for the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. He makes his way through turns 1 and 2 on to the back straight. It's about to get chaotic up in here as the fans are standing up only in the stands as checkered flag waves. It's Stephen Thomas who takes the finale and the win here at Homestead Miami Speedway, but it's Bradley Wilson who does it for Dan and wins it. That $400 and the championship for the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. Your Season 2 champion, number 51, Bradley Wilson. Le Champion has arrived. And his name is Bradley Wilson. And we're going to have some donuts here today. Bradley Wilson and Stephen Thomas burning it down after a crazy season. There's Keith Bradley congratulating the 51 right there. But wow, what a race and what a series. Stephen Thomas takes the win. And Bradley Wilson takes the championship, and Keith Bradley gives him a little bit of smoke to help out, as I believe he might have. Nope, he didn't blow his. He did not blow his motor at all. What a race! Let's bring it on to our championship, our season, our race results. Stephen Thomas takes the win, followed by Chris Cinnamon, Michael McKinnon. Bradley Wilson wins the championship ahead of Keith Bradley, Mike Adamson, Dale Adamson, Brady LaBeouf, Cody Knott, Blake Lothian, Stephen Gregory, Tyler Dittmer, Dane Hagan, Jesse Siraj, Jonathan Munda, Brandon Bullock, Robert Richards, and Jeff Sickles. What a race we just witnessed here today. And, well, they're giving us a little car park celebration. And let's sit along with our race winner, ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Thomas, who really surprised everyone right here, up 8 spots to take the final race win. Stephen, how was that race for you, man?
Surprised everyone? What are you talking about, man? You didn't see me here?
Oh, I saw you at the front with a great...
You're sleeping on me, man. You're sleeping on me.
I'm not sleeping on anybody.
I'm just playing, man. It feels good, man. It took 2 seasons to finally get a win. I'm not sure if you all realize that or not, but I was here last season, obviously, and all this season, and this is my first W. Been in these interviews second and third, back over and over again, and finally got me a win. Feels good.
That's why I'm saying it was a surprise. Nobody was
Oh,
expecting you.
there it is again, man.
Hey, there's always a time for the first win, and what a way to do it in the finale of the season. You had a great pit stop. You were the first one to go into the pits on lap 99. Actually, Brandon Bullock went in a little bit for you, but you were the first leading car to go in on lap 99. And so you were trying to undercut everybody. Then that caution came out, and you were the leader of the race.
Mad. That's what I was when that caution came out. I seen Chris Cinnamon. I thought he was faster than me. He was definitely catching me before I went in. I had about a 1.5 second lead on him, and he brought it down to 8/10, I believe. So I just said, you know what, I'm going in now, so I can try to make up time when I come out. And when I came out, I had another 1.5 seconds, and I just didn't think he could catch me in 30 laps. So as soon as that caution came out, I was cussing and screaming. But
Well, I
but it
don't
worked
think
out, man.
I
It
don't
worked
think
out.
you were cussing and screaming at all, because off that restart, you just well, you held your line, and you did everything you needed to do, and well, you end up in victory lane, which is the best place that you could be. And speaking of victory lane, anyone you want to shout out?
Well, first of all that being said, I want to congratulate these top four guys, man. I really thought that I would be in that conversation at the end of this season, but it didn't work out that way. So, congrats, Bradley, and all the other three. I'm not sure where everybody finished, man, but good job to you guys. I want to thank Michael, Brady, Keith, everybody that's involved in this. I know it takes a lot of hands, and this thing is just taking off, man. It's just now taking off. So I can't wait till next season.
All right, we can't wait to have you back on track and in victory lane some more, because it's great to have you here, and hopefully none of these guys are going to be sleeping on you anymore.
Hey, you better not, buddy. I'm coming back next season, a whole new man.
I'll have high expectations for you, man.
All right, buddy. Thanks, guys. Y'all take it easy.
All right, we'll see you next time. And joining us in the booth now, he finished second place, and he won stage 1 and stage 2. Halfway through the race, everyone thought he was the favorite to take it all the way, but he came home in second. Chris Cinnamon, how was that race?
Oh, it sounds so bad when you say it like that.
I'm a man of drama, and I'm paid the big bucks this way.
I can't help but feel I gave another one away today.
Well, you gave it your all. You were doing everything you can. Your late runs and your runs in clean air were out of this world, as nobody was able to catch on to you. But just after that pit stop, when that caution came out, you went into the pits one lap later than Steven. How'd you feel when that caution came out? What was going through your head?
You know, bad timing for the caution, but at the same time, me and Steven came out the exact same spot, first and second, so it didn't hurt us. I was hoping I was going to get him on that long run, but I had nothing for him at the end. He did a hell of a race here, and definitely deserved that win.
Yeah, definitely deserved his first win. Chris, amazing race throughout the season. You've always been up there. What are your expectations for season 3? Are you making a return?
Yeah, I'm making a return here. New team here, Limitless. I got Michael on there, Dale, Ben. I think we're excited for the next year. I made a lot of mistakes this year, and I definitely think I should have been in that top 4 if it wasn't for my mistakes I did. So I'm going to come back with a little chip on the shoulder, and hopefully we'll see you in the Championship 4 next year.
All right, good, Chris. But before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, you guys up there in the booth doing an awesome job this year. Michael McKinnon, what a season he's put on, keeping us all in line, and it's been a lot of fun. And also, last but not least, Team Limitless, great show today.
All right, awesome. Congrats on another podium, Chris. We'll see you next time. And we'll see Limitless Motorsports next time as we're standing by with Michael McKinnon, who edges out Bradley Wilson in the final laps to get 3rd place and the Southern Auto Glass Hard Charger Award.
Hey, how about that? One time I get a bad qualifying run. I finally did something.
Well, it certainly seemed that you were in control of this track, and way to do it as I'm in a thunderstorm right now. This is fantastic. Oh yeah, I heard that one. Anyway, in a new paint scheme that I must say is absolutely beautiful. Hashtag not biased at all. Uh, you make that number 13 look good, and you drag it up into third place, and you did everything you could do. And well, hey, third place podium. How do you feel?
Good. I get to save $40 tonight, so that's good because I have to pay myself. So that's awesome. I want to congratulate Steven, man. He's put all the time in the world in here and had a great run. Finally got to stay out of trouble and all that. Congratulations to Bradley Wilson. I know he's waiting in the waiting room. We're going to give him the $400 here in just a minute. And I don't know something about Homestead. I was able to hold the same line over and over and still save tire. I don't really know how. I guess I just got lucky enough not to spin off the corner. I thought I had something for everybody. I got a little bit of damage on the wing, and I was just getting loose enough off of 4. I couldn't put the power down completely. So, but I had a great night, man. It was a really, really fun season. Thanks all you guys that put this on.
And thank you for hosting this league and everything you do behind the scenes. Well, there's one more driver we need to talk to. Number 51, Le Champion, Bradley Wilson.
Holy shit.
And I forgot my sensor bar. Well, Bradley, you did it for Dan, and you took the championship, and, well, in the last 2 races, you pretty much dominated, and with that message of doing it for Dan, I've got to say, I believe he might be proud of you right now.
God, I hope so. It definitely was a hard-fought fight the past 2 weeks with battling Keith Bradley and Lothian. It's definitely a lot of fun, but it is close racing.
It was absolutely close between you and Keith. We had 3 different championship leaders throughout the race. It was you, and then it was Keith. Then you made the decision to go into the pits right after Keith Bradley, after he passed you. He had the pace on those tires, and your tire pace was just falling off. What made you decide that you were going to pit 1 lap later than Keith Bradley?
Really just didn't want to run them over. They didn't announce on the radio that they were pitting, so if I tried to pit, I probably would have ran in the back of everyone. My spotter was Lee Morgan, which was like, hey, go one more time. So we went one more time and ended up working out for us with that caution.
Well, yeah, that caution. What went through your head when you realized that you were ahead of Keith Bradley when you came out of the pits, Keith Bradley had not passed you? What went through your head or in your spotter's radio?
Definitely got everyone pretty happy. It really didn't think we were ahead of them. Thought maybe I was ahead of like one person, but then it kept telling me to pass people till I was up to 4th place, and I was like, all right, we might actually be able to do something with this. Just gotta save tires now and hope for the best.
Well, you definitely hoped for the best. You did everything you needed to do. You took the win. You're Le Champion, and you are $400 richer as you are the Triple M Pulling Truck Series champion for Season 2.
I still don't think it's hit me yet.
It's gonna hit you very soon when that money's in your wallet. But before that happens, anyone you want to thank, and don't worry, I got your camera for that anyway. So we got subtitles.
I definitely have to thank Dan. He truly is fucking everything, man. He put me in this car and went to the first race, didn't really know how we were going to perform, and then he just developed me into such a good driver to be able to make it to the playoffs, and then it kind of all fell into place with racing everyone hard. Keith Bradley, Blake Lothian, shout out to them, running me clean and hard all season. White Knuckle Esports, CGE, Shenandoah Shine, uh, Full Throttle Batteries, my dad, Eric Robertson, for always helping on my real life race car so I can stay here and run this. KW Suspension, my family, and I think just spotters and crew chiefs, they've definitely like track position wise, strategy wise, I don't think I could do it without him.
And I'm gonna say you have a big fan base, and everyone in that fan base is probably cheering and very happy for you. Congrats on the championship, man. And will we be seeing you next year? Next season, I mean. Not year. That'd be weird.
We're hoping on it. A couple different seasons going on, so if we get an off week, might show back up.
Don't lose touch, Bradley. I got to get your mailing address for the trophy. I'm going to send it directly from them to you.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Bradley, for joining us and that championship. It's been an amazing night here on Racecraft TV for the season finale of the Triple M Pulling Truck Series here on Racecraft TV at Homestead Miami Speedway. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description.